It's okay.
Hello, everybody. Guess who?
Guess us. And
It's Wednesday.
it is. And look, we're matching. She thinks like me.
I'm older, so you think like me.
That's
Great
okay.
minds think alike.
They do.
And what's
They
the
do.
rest of that statement?
I don't know.
Fools seldom differ.
I like we are great minds think alike.
Okay.
Though there are days it's probably a fool too, but that's okay.
I'm Deborah.
I'm Lori. We're coming to you from Tom's Sewing in Surrey, British Columbia. And then if you can't make it to Tom's Sewing, you can check us out in Chilliwack at Country Folk or our Burnaby location. Which is
online.
Or online, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of things online.
Yes.
So, Tom and Gary are away. They are in Nashville. They are down getting some training and things at the big SVP thing. So they're, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but at this point right now, I've got myself into so much trouble again. Anyways, so the Icon 3. So they're down getting to see that and touch it and play with it. So that's the top of the line from FAF. It's a embroidery machine and sewing machine. So we're looking forward to that.
Yes.
Because they're down there with that and they've made the effort to go down to Nashville. We are lucky in the Surrey location. Is it just in Surrey? I think so.
Well, that's where the machine will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get a sneak peek day for our customers. Oh, well, that's your fault, not mine. What day is that? That's
August the 11th.
August the 11th. So if you're wanting to check out the new Icon 3, whether you're into FAF or not, because like I know there's a lot of people who are very brand specific.
Yes.
I like my Janome, I like my Baby Lock, I like my whatever it is. It's nice to check out some things that other ones do because then you know what's available, what is new and all those kind of things, all and stuff. Because sometimes every brand comes out with really cool things, and it's not necessarily across the board. And so finding that when you kind of get in that brand specific type thing, there's a lot of things you can miss out on. So for example, okay, everyone knows I love Janome. I've had Janome. I've got my 15,000 and then I got my M7 and then I've been drooling over the M17. So but because I work here now, I'm being forced
Oh yeah.
to learn the other machines. So I've been playing with the Solaris, and which is very close. I mean, the Radiant is a step up, and so I'm learning some things on the Radiant. We did that training for the Husqvarna Viking, and so like the Epic. Yeah, okay, I can get those two. Epic 3, like, ooh, and all those kind of things. And so now I'm seeing all of these different ways of doing things, and now I'm like, ooh. Me, yeah. So now I'm kind of leaning towards maybe not 100% set on that M17 anymore. I still love it, and if I had one, I wouldn't complain necessarily. Exactly. But I don't. It's got some really cool things on it, but there's other things, and I'm like, oh, I like those, and so even if you're kind of brand specific,
specific.
There we go. Lips are not working today. Come check out the Icon 3 and see what there is there, because you might just find something that you're going, ooh, because maybe there's something you've been trying to do or wanting to do and haven't been able to do with your machine, and this has got a tool or a technique on it that will aid it, make it easier, or you're going, oh, that is something I would really like to do. So come check it out. Even if you're not necessarily a FAF person, you're still come join us.
And it also gives an insight into where the industry is going.
Definitely.
Because each one, after a while, picks up some of those little things. They start to add it to their machine. It started with the size of the M17 hoop, and now everyone's in that same category. So,
well, on one of the machines now, okay, remember, blonde hair, and my brain is all over the place. I can't remember if because we were looking at both when we were doing our Husqvarna FAF training and everything else like that. So we were looking at the two. So one of the machines, I can't remember which one it is. Okay, one of them has stitches, and so the fabric is folded, and then you stitch down, and it kind of stitches this half thing, and then you pull open it so that it lays flat. And then it doubles this stitch. It is like so cool. And it's like, oh, and so if you're stitching, so now, seams sometimes, you can't necessarily hide the seam, but it just kind of seems odd. And you're kind of, now you can make this seam.
Make it a decorative,
that is part of the thing. And I was like, woo. And then there's these other ones that, I'm going to call it something that's probably not what it's called, but it's the way my brain remembers it. It's like pictographs. And so there's different stitches in there that you pick different ones, and you can make little scenes, and it's so cute. Now, that may be kind of a simplified or exaggerated, but they're very cute. I'm like, ooh. And one of them has where you can do decorative stitching with ribbon. And so you're doing these ribbons and dancing and twisting, and it's I'm like, whoa. And so then my brain's getting all these ideas, but it was available on this machine, but or this brand, but not on this brand. And I was like, oh, so now I'm like, okay, I want the Janome for this, I want the Baby Lock for this, I want the Husqvarna for this, and I want the Epic 3, or
I know.
The Epic 3 for this, and the Icon 3 for this. And so it's
I know, same thing here. You see things that are added to the, if I look back when I first started sewing, I would have never imagined the industry would have reached the level that it has got to. So I can only imagine where it could get in another, do I actually say I've been sewing for 60 years? Where would we be in another 60?
I know.
It's just mind-boggling.
It is. See, and the other thing is by checking out the different machines, because they'll have different things. When you're brand specific, you're okay, this. Let's face it, we don't necessarily, some of us don't have a lot of disposable income.
Yes.
Some of us, as much as I joke about going, well, I have this machine and this, that's if I win the lottery.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a reality. And so by knowing what the different brands offer, you then get more bang for your buck.
Yes.
Because instead of going, well, I'm a Janome, so I'm only going to buy my Janome, you're missing out on these things. Whereas if you look going, for that same price or a couple extra bucks, I can get this machine, and then this opens up this way, this for me. So you're making a more informed decision on that machine, on what you're on your purchase, by going, okay, what are all my options? And then when you go to spend it, you're going, okay, I'm going to get more use out of this brand because there's this on there that I would use, whereas if I buy this one, there's a lot of things on there that I'm not going to use.
See, that's the thing. The Epic 3, and I'm assuming the Icon 3, they're going to be absolutely stunning, just like the Radiance. There are things on there that are absolutely mind-boggling and innovative that just, wow, never thought I'd see the day. Also things on there I'm not going to use. Mm-hmm. So if you're aware of what each brand brings to the table, when you're in the market for the top of the line of that item, the embroidery machine,
or just even mid-range,
or any of them, know what each one brings to the table, you can make the best decision for yourself, knowing, okay, this I'll use, this I absolutely want, this I can live without. Then you can make a really good, and you're spending your dollars that are limited in the best way for you, that you will use.
I don't know if I've mentioned this, but like I am with the Solaris, and one of the things on there is like the camera, and I'm like the projection camera or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know that I'd ever really use that, because like, I was like, well, it's, for placement, and I was like, well, got this, I work around it. I don't think it's something that I'm going to use. Well, I was marking my quilt with my clear blue tiles, and I was using the puff, okay, which, cool. I love that stuff. Oh, I'll get onto my blanket in a minute. But anyways, because the puff is thick, and so I'm going through marking stuff with my clear blue tiles. When I went to sew it, because that puff now, because there's
it has a dimension.
It has a dimension, and so my lines weren't lining up, and I'm like, crap. And with the camera now, I was able to project the corner of the design and line it up where it was supposed to be. So I could look, so the clear blue tiles worked then to put the thing in there and get it in there squared. But with the camera, it just took it to the next level, because now I could line it up so that it was actually going to work instead of being like all over the place. And I'm like, okay, now I'm sold on the camera. So now I need a machine that has a camera, because now I like it. And so now I can see the value.
See the value
with
yeah,
it.
exactly.
But it's going to say.
And that's what happens if you spend some time deciding, checking out the features, seeing what they are.
Yeah.
Talking to people who maybe even have that machine to see what they find to be the best features of that machine. So
see, and segue into this. So we have our demo sale going on right now.
Still. Yeah.
That is why we have machines out on the table. Now, can we have every possible one? I'm sure, to some degree, if we had the space, Tom would.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yep.
But we don't. And so we rotate them around or whatever. But this is an opportunity to come sit down at that machine and going, oh, okay, I like the placement. I like the controls are handy, this, or you can sit down and actually, because on a box or on the picture on the internet, it's not the same.
No.
It is not the same. And so come, and then if you find one you like, and it's been on our floor for 6 months, it's on part of the demo sale, and you can get a good price on them. So now, as the month goes on, we get lower and lower in demos. We're starting to get some holes out there.
Yeah, that's very true.
So come check with that.
Just check it out. Come with your type of sewing, because we all do slightly different. Mine is different than Lori's, which is different than Jen's. So everybody does something slightly different.
Okay. So our next announcement, if you've ever been part of like a strata meeting or co-op or anything like that, or anything, when you've got that meeting and then they've got in camera, and so they take and don't make notes of it because it's not supposed to get out. So we're in camera. Right now we have a really cool sale. Our basics.
The Boss Away sale.
Yeah, well, our heist, our fabric heist. So right now, because basics don't usually go on sale, and I need to stock up on my basics. So Tom and Carrie are away, so I threw basics on sale. I may get in trouble. I may get fired. So this may be one of my last weekly dose. Because I'm gone. No, they'll just find. I
won't do this alone.
They'll just find something else more for me to do. That's all.
This is true. Yeah,
so
we'll punish you somehow.
They will. So today's Wednesday. Today's the last day because they get back home tomorrow. Yeah. So so basics, and so that includes the Kona. 25% off. You don't need a coupon, so it's online or in store. Just come
minimum 5 meter.
Minimum 5 meters. Yes, it's basics. You're gonna know it's half meter cut. So there is a minimum, right? And you can't combine it with any other things. But today's the last day, so you want to take advantage of that. I mean, we just had the Christmas fabric, and so now you need basics to go with all of that stuff that you bought. So, you always need your basics. So now we're back out of camera, in camera, out of camera, however the end, I never remember that part.
No idea.
So
Moving on, the upcoming classes. Now, I have a few listed, but I do want, there's an awful lot have been added. So,
yes.
I'm not going to go through all of them. I just have a few that I want to, basically, these are ones that if you wanted them, it's time to get your name on there. So the Searcher 1, 2, and 3, September 16th, 23rd, and October the 7th. There is, excuse me, afternoon class has been added for level 1. Excuse me.
That's okay. She's just going to do, well, that she's doing that. One Amazing Autumn, is that not full?
It wasn't when I added it. It could be by now.
Okay, because it was full, and so it's the little Kimberbell pillow. It is really, really cute. If it was full, now maybe something happened, and if you've started embroidery and you've taken my 4-part class, this is a really good follow-up class because you're going to learn a few different techniques, putting things together. It's going to be lots of fun.
Expanding your knowledge there, yeah.
And then we do have the EMB Basics or Embroidery Basics, the 4-part one, the Saturday one starting August 8th.
The free motion, Tom's free motion, I call it that because that's not how it's listed in the calendar, but the free motion, the very first one, first level, is taught by Tom. And ours is the ones here in Surrey are full, and we already have a wait list. But there's
we just got to find time for Tom to get more in there.
He just needs to give us another date that he could, take it on. And then the free motion in Country Folk is September the 29th. So with Tom again, and within minutes of people taking this class, they're already seeing the benefit of it.
It's not just about like how to move.
Yes.
It is, he really focuses on the technical side of it with your machine, how to get your machine working for you.
Yes.
Because you can know the motion, but if your machine is not working with you, it gets frustrating. And so he helps with that kind of stuff so that you are your machine is in sync with you. So that you get those fluid motions and how to get all of that stuff, because those are key. And that's where a lot of people were fighting. It's like, well, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that, but I'm just fighting my machine. That's where having a tech side of things comes into play because it's
and then Rita's class of expanding upon that knowledge
where you actually learn the motion.
Exactly.
The one that I took with Tom, there were a few people in class. There was one lady in there, and she's like, her friend talked her into it. She's like, I didn't want to take this because, I've taken like several free motion classes, and I go home, and I'm fighting it, and it's not fun. I hate it. She took that class, and she goes, well, this is making sense. And by the end of it, she's like, okay, now. And so she was so happy she took it because it was that connect between the motion and all that stuff. So
exactly, because that's where, and then you can expand upon using your rulers and getting the motion and everything else, but you have to know how to make that machine work for you. And that's what this one with Tom does. Stitch and Chatter will be back on August the 20th.
Yes, that's our
and the beginner backpack, this is like if you've got a new machine or you're just getting in, it's a good way to learn skills to utilize that machine. So, and there's also going to be, she's got the machine cover class as well that can, again, they're all little ways of, and small projects that you could do in an afternoon, regardless of your skill level. And start to see the progress. You can make progress like in an afternoon by doing this, and then you can see how it just expands.
Yes. I know we're not, there's a couple things in here, not here, I was just going to mention. There's a bunch of embroidery classes.
Yes,
We had
yes.
Kimberbell Day. I was going to film during Kimberbell Day and put that, but it just went off my head. We've got a bunch of classes that are coming up. If you're into Kimberbell, just so you know, we do have the 2-day Halloween, the stitching hour. One is full or almost full. I think it is full. We've opened up a second date. So if you want to do those, it's October 1st and 2nd or 5th and 6th. We have the Mrs. Claus Bakery.
Yep.
That's a 1-day event. Pop into that. If you've been in the store around Christmas time the last couple of years, especially when our classroom is the other place, there was a big, huge quilt on the wall that was a Christmas village.
Yes, the applique.
The applique one. A lot of people, that's a beautiful quilt, love to do it. Okay, if you have an embroidery machine, because it is embroidery, we have that class in because there's another way to do the pattern and still a whole bunch of things. So if that was one that you wanted to learn to do, we are doing that one. I can't remember the dates.
That's why I like. There's so many.
There's lots
have been added.
Yeah.
In the last
check
few
those
days.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just to get it. Okay. To our topic today. Now, I know AI is the big thing, and I'm not as into it or as approving of it as
everyone
the rest
has
of
their
the world.
opinion
Yes,
on it.
Exactly.
But we decided to run through because people use it, and
yes,
so
absolutely,
we thought what we'd do is we would ask AI, just curiosity. What was the question?
Overrated tools
according to AI. So because AI doesn't sew.
Yeah.
Like hello.
It shows you,
but it's going to tell us
yes.
what are overrated tools. So we've got a few here, and
that it has listed as overrated.
As overrated, and we're going to.
I'm going to give my opinion on their opinion.
Yeah, we're going to tell you that they're probably wrong because they're dumb. I mean, so
okay.
So couple of things.
First one is
a rotating mat. So if you're not familiar with it, it's a mat. It sits on your table and then it rotates around. So instead of you turning the fabric, the mat turns. But actually, okay, here's a funny. Okay, so at Kimberbell Day, the one guy, he was doing the thing and he was showing it. And he called it, he says, oh, and look, it's a rotating doormat. He called it a doormat. We all laughed. It was hilarious. So, you can use it as a doormat. You put it there, and then if someone comes and knocks on your door, that you don't. Well, they are. But this one's useful because if someone comes to your door, like a salesman or somebody you don't want to talk to, like they come, they knock, you just get down and you rotate the mat, and then.
There are many brands of a rotating mat, and there's different sizes, so you pick the size you like. I personally have the Kimberbell one.
I love the Kimberbell one because one thing about, and so this is where I would agree with AI, is that they are more of a pain than anything because a lot of them times they'll separate, and so you're trying to turn it and it'll pop out of its thing or it shifts and everything else.
This one does not do
the Kimberbell does not do that. It sits, you can, I love it.
So that just means there's different levels of this item.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick the one that's in your price range and you make it work.
And you want to look at when you're buying them. So if you're dealing with primarily 4x4 blocks, you can get away with a small one.
Yes.
But if you're dealing with a wide variety, then look and going, hey, the biggest blocks I deal with is a 12x12. So you want to make sure you get a bigger one.
Yes, something larger.
Otherwise it is a fight when you're trying to.
So, because then they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, they're so handy because instead of like when you're, especially if you're doing machine embroidery and you're cutting down the blocks, but when you're having to turn your pattern and the ruler there, then you turn it, then you got to realign everything, and so that takes time and it can get frustrating. This way you're turning the mat, and so everything stays where it is. So no, it's can you do it without it? Yes. But does it make life easier? 100%.
Absolutely.
And if you're doing something where you're doing like 100 blocks, hello?
Exactly.
Just like this makes it go so much faster.
See, these are things, you don't go out and straight out of the gate buy everything.
No.
that you're going, depending, like if you're quilting, embroidering, or whatever, you don't buy everything all at one time. Well, most of us can't do that. Some people probably can't. But that's not the goal. The goal is to, as you keep moving up and you keep working on it, then you can justify the expense of moving up to certain things.
And at the same time, there are some things that even if you're a beginner, like they are some must-haves.
They're essential. Like you
it'll
need a
make
cutting
things,
mat and a ruler.
Yeah, there are some things that make things easier.
The next one that they figured is not useful or overrated.
A wool mat.
Is a wool mat. Well, I totally disagree. I don't know how many of these I have. I line them up that they're covering my ironing space. It makes that job so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
This will it absorbs the heat on the underside, so therefore you're ironing both sides, which means you've cut the job down in half. And that topic of the wool mat leads me to another one, a good iron. And I know. A good iron is, and it doesn't have to be, I know AI said expensive iron. That's not the goal. The goal is a good iron, that it gets hot.
Yes.
And if you use steam, then the steam is good and it doesn't dribble when you're using it. And sometimes that you have to definitely step up.
Yeah.
Check out irons. See the reviews on them. I mean, we can check these things out now. Do that. Check on good irons. I bought several years back now one level of the Singer iron. That thing is amazing. I was hesitant and I thought, oh, well, okay, I need one. So let's start with this one. Fabulous iron. Absolutely fabulous. It's hot. It's steady. I love an auto shut off because I always forget to turn my iron off. There
are for certain keys, like, auto shut off or whatever. But sometimes, when irons are ones that you have to use. Okay. Probably remember this a while back when Ramon was working here or whatever. They got in some Rowenta irons. And so for my birthday, he bought me a Rowenta iron.
Okay.
That thing's heavy.
Yeah.
He asked him. No. And I'm like, whatever. So he did buy me a Rowenta iron. Do you have to go like high end? But the thing is, he bought that when Macy right? When I was pregnant with Macy. Macy will be 20 this year. And I just had to replace it. Yeah. Last year. So I had it for 19 years. Yeah. And so, it's got the heavy, yes, it was heavy, so I didn't have to use as much pressure. So there were some sales. So sometimes, yes, you may spend a little bit more and invest in that.
Yes.
But you can go to Walmart or whatever, you can buy an iron, $20. But if you're buying it every year for $20,
your $20. Yeah.
So it is something you're going to use. And as much as I hate that or whatever.
Or my little mini press.
Oh, the mini press. Okay,
I
do.
With my embroidery machine.
Singer has one.
Fabulous.
I love it. It's great for when you're doing,
putting doing your presto or whatever. Yeah. I don't do applique, so I don't have to use it for that.
Yeah, so there's some stuff.
So in the
things
ironing section, there's also a pressing bar with a clapper. Now, I can see this being utilized with garments, because especially with higher end, if you're doing wool or something of that type, you don't want, when you press your seams open, you don't want the image or the impression to be on the garment. So you would lay that across here, you would press it. So you're going to get a nice crisp seam, but you're not going to get the impression because the iron's not hitting the side. And then it's also doubles as a clapper that you can put down on your seam to hold it, so that you don't have to hold the iron on as much with the heat, and it will absorb some of the moisture and the steam from your pressing. Yeah.
Okay, because I've seen like people sit there saying, that iron, and then they put this wood block on there, and so it holds the seam.
It will help impress the seam into that position. Plus, it will take, like if you had used steam, it will also start to absorb some of the moisture. When I watch some people on, and I know they're just doing a video, they're not holding it long enough. They're just pulling off. You know, hold it for a couple of seconds before you're taking the clapper off, because you do want it to absorb. And still on the topic of irons, this
I think she's obsessed with irons. Not.
I see the value of pressing. Okay, everybody knows that. This is a hot roller. So like if you're turning up a hem, or you know, like it, you could just place this under there and press it up, and you know what, you don't burn your fingers. Ask me how
I have used those, and I find that they are handy because I can't draw a straight line. I can't iron straight, apparently. I can't sew straight or whatever. But that one, when you use that, you get nice, if for hems, they are straight.
Absolutely.
Because mine will always go a little wonky. And then once you start going at an angle, then you continue to go at an angle, and it just...
Now, the next two were not necessarily on the list, but, you know, I kind of got on a roll. A fusing mat. Like... I also use it as, you know, like a pressing cloth.
Pressing cloths are a must.
Absolutely, absolutely, because you don't want the marks from your iron. You don't want it to go shiny from the iron. Certain fabrics will do that. Like, treat your fabrics well, and your item will turn out really, really well. There's just no prep work. There is no substitute for prep work, and pressing is one of those pieces of prep work. And the other one is, I don't know how I would live without this, especially on my embroidery sheet, is a stool stand.
Okay, this might be like the blonde thing. Okay, so yes, your machine comes with a little knobby thingy this way to put your...
knobby? It's spool pin.
There we go. Okay, well, it's a knobby thingy. Okay, and then you put your thread on. Okay, I don't know if it's like... what it is, but okay, so different brands will roll their thing different, and all this other kind of stuff. It gives me so much stress trying to put a little thing on there, because you put it on and it's got to come off a certain way, and then so I'll put it on and it doesn't come off and it gets caught, and then so I hate using the little knobby thing. I have a spool pin, so I have one on my Janome. I have it beside my machine, and even like the little spools this way, I use that because it always comes off proper. Because if I have to put it on that thing, I put it on, it doesn't work, it tangles and breaks, and so I have to try and rethread my machine like 47 times, and I hate it. I don't.
Mine sits on the handle.
Yeah, so I do have one like on my Janome. For my 15,000, I have one that for there, but it just depends on what I'm doing. It's just the one that sits on top of the machine that then I have to, because I got wheel arms. And so sometimes, for single, I have it beside it, and it's a lot easier. If I'm doing something,
I have those too,
if I'm doing like a project where I'm reusing like the same colors over, so I will put them along the top. And then, my white and black always sit on
there,
it. And then I pull it down there, cut it, and then, but if I'm using, like if I'm doing like one of the tile seams, you know, where I've got 32, I'm just right there, because I'm not standing up and changing it constantly. So it's easier for this one. But
I have 3 singles.
I love it.
Spool stands, and one of these. I even have my bobbin thread on a spool, the single spool, and I feed it up through the spool stand to thread my bobbin thread. It's just for cone thread, it's just so much easier.
And little ones work on there too.
Yes, they do. But you know, if you're embroidering, or you're buying large spools because you quilt and you use the same color for your piecing, it's just handy. It's just one of those convenient things that just make all the world of difference.
I mean, I may say that they're overrated, but the thing is, unless you actually sew, if it works for you and makes sewing easier for you, it is not overrated. Okay.
Yeah.
So someone else who maybe sit there and say, "Oh, I love my little knobby thingy," you know, and so a spool stand may be overrated for them because they're like whatever. But the key is what makes this easier for you and keeps that enjoyment. Because if you are fighting it, it is not enjoyment whatsoever.
It's supposed to be fun.
It's supposed to be.
Fun.
I would say no brainer, but sometimes you kind of have to think through, because when I do the no-brainer, it doesn't end well. But it's supposed to be relaxing.
Yes.
It's supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be downtime, like just something that you want to take and do. If you're dreading it, I gotta go do that, you know, then it's equal to like, you know, housework, like laundry, you know, and you don't want to do it, and then you'll avoid doing it, and then you've wasted your cooking. Some days
I don't like it. And you know, like your sewing time is you time. It is what, you know, it's your creative side coming out. So have fun with it.
Yeah.
And buy the tools that can work for you. Whatever that
and that's the
happens to
key.
be.
Just because, you know, someone says, "Oh, it's great." If it doesn't work for you, then, you know, whatever.
Then it's not something that's of any use to you whatsoever. So
yes,
there's so many tools out there for sewing, quilting, embroidery, all of that as it comes up and it looks like something, oh wow, that could really help me because I do this.
Yeah.
Check it out. See what people say. Talk to friends who have it. And
don't
see
talk
if
to AI.
No. No.
It doesn't sew. It really doesn't understand.
It may have its value, but not in this realm.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah. Just remember, in camera, our fabric sale. Come take advantage of it. We've got a lot of there. Yeah. There's been people in here taking advantage of that.
So do it while you can.
Yeah. Out of camera. Next week is Deborah's last week with us.
Not forever.
Not forever. No, then she's gone. And so we need fill in. So we'll see
who's going to fill in.
Who I, hog tie to sit beside me.
Because you know what?
Take off
everybody doesn't jump at the opportunity. So
and it's not even so much spending time with me, because everyone loves doing that. You know what? This isn't really all that bad. We're getting used to it.
Okay, I may be used to actually sitting in front of. Well, no, I'm not really. But I never watch it, so.
You don't have to watch it.
As soon as I see it pull up on the feed, I can't scroll fast enough.
I know, but you know what? It's got.
Yeah, I've never been a picture
person
from the get-go, so there you go.
So
all right, that's it, and we see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.